Yo, YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back. Today we're going to be going over something for Windows settings for all you console players that follow this channel.
Okay, let's see here. Ultimate Edition Arch. Got 8 minutes left. I was going to do that tonight anyway. So, continue downloading. Let's put that down at the bottom here. Let me spin up a virtual box. Get this thing going. What? Install? What's going on here? What's all this crud? Call this StormOS VM, because that'll be in a virtual machine. ISO image. Okay. You don't need 50. I'm going to give it 50. Alrighty here. No, I'm not going to do any drag and drops. I don't need a floppy. Max this out. Storage, that's all good. Good. And this stuff is really don't need to touch. Okay. This should fire up, but we will see. And it does. So when I installed this before, it was it's a spin. It was a spin. They didn't use their own kernel, so I don't know what Ben's doing now. So, but it was a great, what the things he's done has been pretty fabulous. So, I never seen this before. I don't remember this. Let's see here, StormOS. Installer comes up. It looks like immediately. I was kind of wanting to see. I wonder if it's going to have this top panel. I can't even begin to tell you how much I don't like the top panel. Well, the first time I installed this, there was no top panel. We'll see what happens. This is just unexpected. I didn't know if I had time to do this or not before work. I got to leave here at like 2 o'clock. A little bit after. Between 2 and 2:15. Disk. There's nothing on the disk. Swap file. BRTFS. I'm not using a big drive. I really don't need ButterFS. We're just testing this out anyway. Okay, use the same password. Administrator, yes. I don't ever suggest you log in automatically without asking for a password. Require strong passwords isn't too bad, but for the sake of this video, I'm just using the basics. I got a script that I run when I install something, and I don't use Tracy. I use my channel name, Only Linux, because all my scripts got my that username baked into, like will, sudo, privileges, all that kind of garbage. So, okay, well this is not new. Okay, do we want to do? I usually don't like using GUI to install things. I like to install it myself. But you know what? I'm just going to choose. Well, let's see what he's got right out of the box. See how long this takes. I'm gonna go get me some grapefruit juice. I will be right back while this is installing. I have recommended this it's an operating system. It's a distro. I mean, whether it's a spin or not, it's his work. His configs and stuff like that. So we'll call it. We'll just call it a distribution. Okay, whether it's a spin or not, it makes no difference to me. Linux is Linux. I mean, everything's pretty much based on 3 different distributions anyway. We're talking Debian, Arch, or we'll say Fedora, but it's Red Hat. But Red Hat's kind of they kind of did something to the community this year, or this last year, and it's just, you know, I enjoy. I probably won't ever put Fedora on my computer again. I don't even want to test it out. I mean, if certain things change, maybe, but I do. I am going to be looking into Nobora, the Nobora project, Nobora 39. I'm going to spin up their official version and see what's all. Glorious Eggroll is absolutely an amazing feller, you know. So I mean, he is probably why a lot of games work on Linux. That, you know, actually he is. I mean, I am a fan of Debian, the grandpa. You know what a lot of distros are made from. You know, like Ubuntu base, the Linux Mint, all those. I mean, Ubuntu is based off of Debian. So, installation failed. It says it installed, but it said it failed too. It said it was installed. So let me remove this, and I'm going to restart this machine and see what happens. Nothing. That sucks. That is not entirely mean that it's not going to work. Let me hit Control F. That should bring me to the full screen. What it's doing now. Okay. Come on, start the installer. We're just going to go with everything it says. Name, we're going to call it TG. Password's going to be TG. Repeat the password TG. We're going to choose any packages. Let's see what happens now. It's weird because it appeared to go through the step. You know, down below you see this right here. I don't know if you can see my mouse, but you can see this. And I thought it finished, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. %. That's one thing I've never understood. What is all this? I guess it's because, people could actually try this out before they install it. So let's see what he's got. It's Firefox Thunderbird. I wouldn't have Chromium on anything. That's just my preference. I like, GIMP's okay. I use Krita, but GIMP is a good program. I like Thunderbird. Excuse me. I like Thunderbird. It's my default email. I don't use Firefox. I don't use anything Google. I use Brave. And I'm kind of wondering about switching from Brave. I've seen a post, the Linux post about Brave, something about why I left Brave or something. So I haven't checked it out yet. Let's see what they don't have any Office suites, but that's really, that's no big deal to me. I mean, I like it really depends on what mood I'm into, whether I want something out of the box with an Office suite. And I'm not a fan of only Office, so I really don't like that being on my system. So they got VLC, that's what I use for video. I wonder what they got for playing music. They may just use VLC for everything. I use Rhythm Box for my media. I just like it. I mean, there may be better ones. I just can't tell you about those because I don't use them. I don't. I couldn't tell you how they work. So graphics, they got document scanner. That's a must. I like that. It runs my picks up my scanner and everything really well. And it failed again. I don't know why it's failing. Wonder if I'm doing something wrong. But it would not install. Dang it. I don't understand why it wouldn't install. I've heard a myth that the third time's the charm. So we will see what happens with my third try. I just wonder. We'll try this one more time. I'm going to check the settings out if this fails. Well, now it's not even booting in. Let's shut it down. Let's see. I want to enable 3D acceleration. That cannot be it. We'll try the AMD thing here. Honestly, I can't think of what I didn't do or should have done that would cause this thing not to fire up. Let's check it out. See if that done anything. So my OBS is on the screen that I'm looking at here, so I can look at, but my what I'm working on that screen over there. So, 10/21/2023 installer. That's weird because I believe it said 12/31/2022 was the last update. If that was the case, how is there a 10/21/2003 installer? I don't know. I can't answer that. Maybe there's just something wasn't updated or something. I don't know. Everything's the same. Erase disk. So we'll do no swap. TG. And let's try. I was really wanting to see. We'll do this one more time. And if this don't work, I'm going to try the Zen kernel. I always use the Zen when I do Arch. I always use the Zen kernel. I changed my kernel. I go into the kernel and do some things and gaming specific that anything that enhances the gaming experience. I switch. If it doesn't affect that, then I don't switch it because the developers of those were way smarter than I am, so I don't want to screw anything up. I don't want to make something not work less. Work even worse. So, um, but whatever bin supplies, um, and it just may be the VM. It could be VirtualBox. I've never had a problem spinning anything off in VirtualBox before, but that doesn't mean this. Sometimes it likes bare metal and not a VM. So I am not well versed in the other VM software other than VirtualBox, so I'm not going to try any of those others out because I don't I don't know how to use them. They're probably pretty similar in nature, but I really don't know if I got time. It's 124, so we will see. If this installs, and then awesome. If not, then it is what it is. I'll try to hit this finish button up here. Well, no, if it just shoots over, if it just shoots on over, we'll know that it didn't complete. You don't want to go from, like it's at 52%, you don't want to go all the way to the right. You know that it's probably skipped something. It appeared that there was one error when it was all loading up. I don't know. I'd have to check the log that I sent off, see what that was. But, well, I mean, I sent the log off, and I don't know. He's got some cool things. He's got the GitHub on here, the browser, the study thing, the translator, the YouTube. Come on. Uh-oh. Oh, I knew it. Come on, man. Why? Why is it failing? Drives. Sucks. That sucks, but I cannot lie. I don't know. This is mind-boggling. I didn't check. I didn't copy the log to my clipboard that time. Let's make it bigger. TRACEY. TRACEY. And let's choose then. Do the headers. AMD GPU. I mean, it should automatically find all that. Let's see what happens now. One thing I'm not going to do, I'm not going to put this on bare metal tonight to check it out. I'll have to call it a flop. Well, I'll call it a VM flop. And that doesn't mean it's a flop. Ben don't create. I'm just telling you, Ben Fitzgerald does not create flops. This is really mind-boggling here. I don't know what happened. I'm not the best. I am creating my own OS. I actually have called only Linux OS Cinnamon. I customized the Cinnamon desktop. I put gaming on it. Blizzard or the Battle.net comes on it. So the wine configs. I mean, it's not rocket science. I mean, you to get games working. I use Lutris to install games. I don't use Lutris to play the games, but it does a fantastic job of installing things. I think Glorious Eggroll actually has a hand in the Lutris. So I just install Lutris. I do run a script for Lutris. I'd have to look in what all it does. I always copy everything I down. I make a script to so I can just click, copy, paste, and it does everything for me. But I just install Lutris, and I go to the wine thing down at the bottom, and I go to the wine thing, and I install the latest GE Proton Glorious Eggroll. GE, that's what GE is, Glorious Eggroll. And I think it's like 827 right now, something like that. I install that, and you got to make sure your AM, you got your Mesa, your Vulkan drivers. Lutris will tell you whether you're set up for that. I mean, and if you're not set up for that, you can it'll search for your installer, and it's failed again. Huh. Okay, the Pac-Man. There's a problem with the Pack Manager. It actually says Pac-Man. That Pac-Man is the package manager. So let me pull up a terminal here. If it works, yeah, it does. Hey, they got the jelly. All right, cool. Anyway. Okay, let's pull up. Let me maximize this. So let me hit Control F. So let's see. Sudo. Sudo pack. I haven't run Arch in a while. I run Debian Pacman SYU. That should update the repositories, I think, the databases. And Pac-Man's working. I don't, unless they don't have this set to go. Yes, of course. And unless they got. This may not work because we're getting ready to see. But anyway, they may have it. It may not be set to to be put on the hard disk that I created. It may be trying to install itself to the live environment, which it's not going to work. That's why this is probably not going to work. But, you know, it should have already stopped if it wasn't going to work. But the fact that it runs the command, Pac-Man is working. But, you know, I guess maybe it's just, like I said, it may not be... And I'm not going to go through the process of, you know, maybe I'll look at the Pac-Man file, but there's a chance Pac-Man is not in the air. Yeah, there's a chance that the Pac-Man, pre-Pac-Man, it said pre-Pac-Man. I'll have to check into this. I mean, it may be just a improper. I mean, it's a bonehead thing. I mean, it shouldn't happen, but I have made the mistake of not putting, like, if Ben's got a repository he's using or something. I mean, this shouldn't work if that's the error. But I mean, he may have a repository that Pac-Man's not reading, and that's part of what installs. You know, maybe it's not connected somehow to the. It could be commented out. You know, a repository or, you know, something that would cause it not to install everything that it needs to install. So we'll see what happens. I just don't know why it's continuing to do this update, because it's not on the. It is not on the virtual machine. If I remove the. I mean, it could have lied and said it didn't install, but it really did. But you know, that may be why this is working. I don't know. I've never had an instance where Calamari's said it didn't install that it did install. So I mean, if it pretty much says it didn't, then it didn't. But you know, many things happen in the Linux community. Let me tell you, it could be a joke. I mean, you never know. That would be a sick joke. I'd have to give Ben a call. Say, hey, what's up, man? Maybe he knew Chromium. Yeah, this is definitely not the bare metal. Maybe this is set. No, it's not set. It's gonna fail. There's just not enough room on the. I mean, there is. I mean, there's no way to install to the file. It's just not gonna work. There's no way. I'll be completely blown away. I'd really like to know how they do accomplish this. If they somehow updated my ISO with this function, you know, that would be nuts. But you know, you can't update that. It's like 3 gigs, and it's, you know, it's written out. It's, you know, you can't rewrite to that ISO, to my knowledge, not without some kind of a program. And it's, while Gparted and all that stuff may be on there, but it's not going to work. It's not going to. It's not what it does. So if this works and you know, I'm able to install it, no problem. I could just say, hey Ben, I went to But the thing of it is, like I said, a lot of these, I mean, this ain't the only one, okay? A lot of them that you may not be able to get on a VM will work on bare metal. So I just didn't want to take the time to try it on bare metal. I don't know how they do this, but some of these guys can, because when you try it on bare metal, your string stops. I mean, unless you're doing it on a separate machine. I don't know how they do that. See, that's the thing. How do I use OBS to film what I'm doing, but from another machine? That way, you know, I could film it going on bare metal. That way you can see, you know, some of these streamers say, I'm going to do this, I did something off camera. Well, how do we know what, you know, that they didn't do something off camera that we don't know about to get things to work? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I've always wondered. I do watch, I watch Linux Cast. I'll tell you, I watch eBuzz Central was the first one I started watching. I started watching Linux Cast, and I watched DistroTube. There's another gentleman I watch. There's like 5 or 6 of them that I watch that I'm subscribed to all on. So a lot of they're a lot smarter than me. They've been in Linux a lot longer than me. I mean, me, it's just been for what, 2 or 3 years now, something like that, and I haven't. And that 2 or 3 years, oh, and I've fooled with Linux since, like, you know, the late 90s, early 2000s, but I mean, I've never really dabbled in it as much as I have the last 2 or 3 years. And now I've got Linux on this machine, that machine. I've got actually Debian. Wait a second. I don't want to lie. I'm pretty sure I got Debian 12 on both the other machines in here. Yeah, something like that. But yeah, I like Debian. I gotta say, I like Grandpa. No offense to anybody who's not on Debian. You can like what you want to like. You don't have to like what I like. I like the stability. I don't have to have the latest and greatest. To me, the greatest, it's what your perception of greatest and mine could be two totally different things. Greatest to me is something that works and don't break. My crap don't break. If my crap breaks, I've taken it to the ringers. I've done everything known I could think of to break it, just to check the stability out. I've froze computers because I max the resources out. I want to see how they function. You know, I'm a kind of gamer kind of guy, and if my crap won't function in the game, I don't want to be tossed off of a game in the middle of a fight that I'm playing with people across the nation or different, countries, that may be playing, so I don't want to leave people hanging. And if your system breaks during a raid or an arena, a dungeon, instance or something, then it's bad. It could be bad. So what's up? I still want to beat Jasmine for buying that toy.
I love you, Papa.
Yeah. So my daughter bought the dog a loud toy. You can probably hear it. I don't know. It's like a rubber duck, and he's a chewer, and it makes this. I really can't copy it, but it's so annoying. It's funny. Chromium. Why? No chromium. Maybe I should look at that again. I really didn't like. If it's got anything to do with Google, if it's de-Googleized, it'd be not too bad to try out. But And we were a avid Firefox mover for many years. Yeah, I've been slowly getting away from Microsoft stuff for many, many years, but you know, like I didn't use their Edge. I won't use their Edge. I guess that I wouldn't have a computer at all. If I have to use Microsoft, I don't need a computer anymore. I'm not interested in that. Would be a big hobby of mine that's down the tube. A long time. Just what I like to do, you know. But I would just focus on a restaurant, getting a restaurant going at that point. Focus all my energy on that. But yeah, I don't ever want to have to use Edge. I would probably at that point just design my own browser. Yeah. I've heard of one called Vivaldi, maybe. That's a pretty good one. Linus Cast talked about a couple browsers the other day. One that he mentioned one. I can't think of the name of it. I have to watch the video again. But I think he said something about Vivaldi, if that makes any sense. I don't know. So I like to check them out. See what it is. See what it's like. I like Brave. I mean, it's my go-to, and you know, I use DuckDuckGo Essentials for security reasons and everything, for the non-tracking and whatnot. And the only bad part about that is it's like if you got a live chat, like if you're looking for some support or something, you're going to use live chat, you have to kind of disable the essentials part so you can do the live chat, because it'll block. I mean, it keeps you safer. So I mean, I don't mind jumping through. And it's GTK3. Okay, GTK3. For a minute there, I thought it was going to install GDM3, but it's GTK3. So. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I mean, I've never... It's so weird not being able to spin up a VM with an Arch system. Maybe I should just try Arch and just see if it'll install Arch. Then I would know, you know, if it's a problem with Storm or it's just the VM. Well, I'm sure it could be just the VM. I mean, just because even if Arch was installed doesn't mean that VM's not preventing, you know, Storm from installing. But like I said, I'm not gonna. I'm not interested in running Storm right now. I mean, Debian seems to be the go-to right now for me. So it kind of makes me want to make it work. So. I don't know. Maybe it's a challenge. So it's updating Calamares. I'm not so sure how that's going to work. I hope it doesn't take overwrite the settings in his on his stuff. I don't think it should, because the stuff I do doesn't affect, you know, like we'll call the baseline versus reeling. You know, what he does is I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I know how to do a lot of things that I can't explain really well, so I just know how to do things. And some of those things I can't tell you what I'm doing, but I can do it. If that makes any sense. So I need one of you guys. What time does Byron get off of work?
Not a clue.
I need to be taken to my car.
Well, me and Mom are going to be going in town after a round anyway.
Well, when you get home, you got just drop me at the car. We'll make sure the cables. I got the cables, and if the car starts, you guys could go. But they asked me to remove my car off the lot because if it snows, they want to make sure they can plow it, and my car is kind of in where they will be plowing it. So.
Mm-hmm. Go.
Will you get some? Hey, Julie, are you in the kitchen? Yeah, some of the stuff it's putting on here and it's updating is just mind-boggling. I don't. On my Arch, my system is Arch that I designed, that I developed, and some of these things that are going on here I don't even have on my. I'll have to take a look at this. It's kind of a long process to choose what you want your base packages to be, because you don't want to throw people off with too much bloat. But then again, there's some people that like it out of the box. They want to do everything they can do. They want to be able to do everything that they normally do right out of the box. So you got to put some stuff on there. But, I mean, basically, if you just want the bare metal, there's no reason to look any further. Just install Vanilla Arch, just install Debian, Vanilla Arch, or your Fedora based package. Just go for that. But I mean, to get the most basic experience, I guess it would be Arch. I mean, it's got more updating involved, but it's probably your smallest. I don't know. Debian might be smaller. I don't know, but Debian installs some games, some things that you may not ever even play, of course. But anyway, if you want the basic, your Vanilla Arch or this Debian straight out of the box is good. I don't know why they put games. But yeah, we will do that. Crap, it's not going to work. I think there's a keyring problem. I should have done the keyring. It's been so long. No packages were upgraded. Let me go to my documents here. Linux, Arch. Crap. Come on, man. Okay. Zero Linux NVIDIA repo. So there's a Zero Linux NVIDIA repo part of this. Why? Yeah, I guess. Well, things will be upgrading now. But that doesn't mean it's going to work. That one instance it said that the keyring was corrupt or something. That happens every now and then. But using the keyring command will fix that in many cases. They've locked up. Yep, it looks like the upgrading has all but ceased. And it's 2 o'clock. Yep. The VM locked. Daggone it. Daggone it. Why did you lock? We're going to probably call this a VM. A VM flop. It don't exist. Okay, so now that that worked, let me try to do the install. It's 3 after 2, by the way.
Honey. Well, you're loud.
I'll stick around for a little bit and see if this is going to work. Another 10 minutes, I'm going to head out. I got a couple kids, students on my bus that are taxing me. they two girls come up and they put their hand out and they say it's tax. You gotta pay your taxes. So I'll pay taxes with candy. They like airheads, you know. So this is gonna cause me to once again show up to get them without their tax. But I told them, I go, look, you know, this is a new year. I haven't got my tax refund yet. Oh, I got my I got your taxes in my locker, but they're wanting new tax from this year before that I get the back taxes, my tax refund. So it's real, it's real funny. It's they call it. They said it's the black and white tax. So they're real good buddies. They sit together on my bus. It's great. I love having them. They're good kids. They call it the black and white tax. One girl's black and the other girl's white. They call it the black and white tax. And other people will come up and say, "Hey, I want my tax," and they go, "No. You got to have a black friend. You got, you know, it's just a black and white tax. It's comical. I enjoy them. It's you know, it's pretty cool that they know that, you know, they're comfortable enough to do that with me. You know, it makes me happy. So yeah, I do want to get my old route at Rikers Ridge back, and I want to work for Madison, but that makes it more content. That makes it easier. It's easier on me. Well, it's still hard, but I mean, it's easier. It kind of makes it better, you know. When you smile, it's always better. I guess I will start getting some tax, but this is the first time I've seen the panel, the dock. It's probably conky. What is it called? Conky or? Oh no! Whoa, this is. It didn't work again. I'm just going to do something, just for the sake of. I'm going to restart. I'm going to Control F, so it'll bring it out of full screen. And I'm going to remove force them out. And I reset and see if it starts being installed, and I just, no, it didn't. There we have it. StormOS VM. We got to give it an F. StormOS bin, you get an F on the VM. But it may not be your fault. So I may have to take the foot out of my mouth and give you a better score. Maybe, for the sake of argument, I will put it on bare metal. We'll see. Gotta go get on my bus, do my pre-trip, and go. Bye-bye.